Good morning, all. Welcome to the third day session on LEDs. Today, we are going to talk about transformers, drivers, power supply, whatever you might call it. More common name is transformers. However, technically, people address it as power supplies. Now, power supplies is probably the heart of the sign. Whatever happens in a signage, everything is dependent on the power supply. Power supply takes the maximum beating. Power supply takes the heat, the dust, the rain, the moisture, all the voltage fluctuations, all the mishaps which happen in a circuit. That is more or less borne by the transformer or the power supply. Power supply is basically that transformer is what it does is it converts the AC 220 volt AC to 12 volt DC or 24 volt DC as required by your LEDs. What we stock is both 12 volts and 24 volts. On our Rhine store, if you visit the store, you will find a big range of products. We have got 12 volts, 24 volts, waterproof, non-waterproof, rainproof as people call it. All those options are there with different warranties in place as per your requirement, of course. 2 years warranties, 3-year warranty, 5-year warranty, so on. Many of the signages, we need to have a very compact, we always have a very compact space, a very small space for the LEDs, for the LED transformers. Because if the transformers are too big or bulky, they cast a shadow on the fascia or on the sign if placed inside the box. So we have a range of power supplies which are slim and compact, keeping into this particular thing. And as more of shallow signs are coming up, now people are moving towards shallower and shallower signs. The power supplies are becoming slimmer and slimmer. Our power supplies, we have a range with high efficiency, even greater than 91%, low power loss. Every circuit has got some power loss. So it's very important to have a good driver, a good power supply, a good transformer, so that we can contain this particular power loss. Otherwise, unnecessarily the electricity consumption goes high. In Middle East, there are certain factors which definitely affect the power supply performance. I'm talking about temperatures, high temperatures. Middle East conditions are very hot, and when inside a box, the transformer is practically roasted. The temperatures inside in a remote location, if your sign is in a remote location, the temperatures, the ambient temperatures are already very high, and your box being airtight or a watertight box, the temperatures inside that sign are even higher. So what happens is the case temperature of the transformer, it goes up. So it's very important to have certain type of protections. First one is over temperature protection. Every transformer would have a temperature limitation. So that is the first thing. You should have a over temperature protection. You should have a overload protection. Calculations can go wrong, and we might end up putting more LED modules or LED strips to the transformer. So the transformer, instead of failing completely, it should be able to switch off. There should be an overload protection. There should be a short circuit protection for safety purposes. Your transformers might be in use in malls, in metro stations, in the airport. So many people are there. So to prevent any hazards, it's important that the power supply has got a short circuit protection. If anything goes wrong in the circuit, it should be able to switch itself off. Most of our power supplies do carry all these features. You can again refer our consultants for the right power supply for your sign. Our power supplies are also SELV, what we call a safety extra low voltage, so that the output of the power supply does not exceed the declared output on the power supply. I'm talking about the voltage. We have got plastic body power supplies, we've got metal body power supplies depending on the IP ratings which is needed and requested. Wide input voltage also is present. Many locations they do not have a 220 volts, they have only 110 volts. So we have a wide input voltage range in many of our transformers, which is even 90 to 305 volts. So it can accommodate in all those, whether the location has a 110 volt running or a 220 volt running. That is also taken care of. In places, okay, in Middle East normally it does not happen, but it does happen in some part of Middle East, that the voltage is not very constant. There are voltage surge. Suddenly the voltage jumps up, or people try to use it on generators. So at that time, transformers having a surge protection also come in handy. Some of our transformers can take up to big surge. Having said that, whenever we are using generators to power a sign, we should first let the generator stabilize its output. Means we switch on the generator first. After a few minutes only we switch on the sign. Because whenever a generator is switched on, the voltage is suddenly very high, it peaks. So at that time it can cause a lot of problems to the sign. So whenever a generator is in use, please make sure you let the generator stabilize the voltage first and then go ahead with it. Some basic tips. What we after the last slide, I have just clipped this slide. Now these are certain tests which are needed in case of an application when it is at a transport location like a metro station or an airport, or again some safety features for fuel stations, for malls, etc. So several tests come into play on that. There are several EN standards which are clearly laid out on the on the data sheet, so that we can take a look and decide what all transformer needs and what all the project needs. Now just to run through this, these are certain emission tests and certain radiation tests. There are harmonic current emissions which are also affecting things. Typically in an airport, you would see a single pole would probably have a direction sign. That pole will also have a camera, and probably concealed somewhere there would be some speakers or certain other devices. There's so many devices, security devices which go into an airport on various signs or around various signs. Now each device would have a transformer linked to it. So it's very important that the transformers don't interfere with each other. Hence many of these tests they go into play. So these tests are very important. I have actually removed half of the tests which are there. So again, it would become a long list. But yes, the tests are present, certifications are present. In case you need any of those, do let us know. Having said this, the basic tips which I was talking about a while back. Now basic tips are, we always practice certain security features because somebody says so. But why do we need those features? Now we say don't load the drivers beyond 85%. This does not apply globally, but for Middle East it definitely applies. A while back I had referred to the case temperature of a power supply. Now the circuit of the circuit which is connected to the power supply, the transformer, generates some heat. Any circuit does. So that heat is again coming to the transformer. When the transformer is inside a box, maybe a junction box, maybe inside the sign, I don't know. But when it is there, again the ambient temperature, the temperature around the box is very high. Even even during the night, if your ambient temperature is around 30 degrees, the temperature inside the box would still be at least 10 degrees higher. So that temperature clubbed with the the heat generated by the circuit itself, that clubbed together increases the temperature on the case, the body, outer body of the transformer. So that is what affects the transformer in a negative fashion, and the life drops, performance drops, might even fail if it does not have a protection on it. Second point we talk about, which comes out very often because we are putting signs up in all odd locations where it's not easy to place a transformer inside the box, inside the sign, and we have to place it at a remote location. Now, when we are placing the transformer at a remote location, what we recommend is that the maximum distance between the transformer to the LED, to the first LED, should be less than 5 meters. Otherwise, there is a voltage drop and the output of the LEDs is affected. Now, what happens when we cannot have a distance of 5 meters? We need to go for a thicker LED, thicker wire, higher gauge wire. When we have a higher gauge wire, that voltage drop is reduced, so we can cover longer distances. So a distance which is 10 meters from the power supply to the LED would have a slightly thicker wire. 20 meters, again a further thicker wire. All these tables are present. They're present even if you Google it, you will find it. So all these tables are present, the wire gauge chart. It can help you on these kind of circumstances. Very often we come across a situation wherein we have a long signs and we have put long rows of LEDs. When we calculate, we say, okay, 300 watt LEDs, we can put 300 modules, and we end up putting 300 modules. What happens? After say 100 modules, I'm just taking notional numbers here, please. So after 100 modules or so, we start noticing a slightly dimmer sign after half of the sign or 1/3 of the sign. Now, why does that happen? Because when the LED modules are lined in a single row in series, the voltage across starts dipping. There would be a specified number of modules which can be placed in series. So after that, the voltage starts dipping, and that results in a dimmer module. So half of the sign will be operating on a lower voltage, which will be dimmer than the first half. Best thing to do here is please adopt a practice wherein you can put the strings, the specified strings, in parallels. So if you need to have 300 modules on one transformer, please put 3 strings of 100 modules each. That will make life easier for the transformer. That will give you a more uniformly illuminated sign. And of course, your other aspects are also covered on this. Another problem which I often come across is difficult access signs. People end up placing the transformers inside the sign itself. In difficult access locations, please make sure that the transformers are placed in a location which are easily accessible. Reason: LED has a much longer life. Transformers, because of all the abuse they go through, have a shorter life, and chances of a transformer failing are higher as compared to a LED failing. So when a transformer is failing, your LED is off, and you need to replace the transformer. To replace one transformer, you probably need to hire a cradle, hang it, and do all that expense linked to it. It becomes a big problem. While if it is located at a convenient location, you can simply go and change the transformer. So please do keep that in mind. Another aspect on bigger signs, it always happens. We have a bunch of power supplies or transformers used on particular thing. We put all those transformers together in the junction box, and we hold them together. Now these transformers, they interfere with each other. So let us avoid that part. Give at least a 100 gap in either directions between transformers. Spread it out. You will have longer life transformers. On our range, we have got wave transformers, we have got fine transformers, we have got both non-waterproof and waterproof on these two ranges, 2 years and 3 years warranties. We've got AG-Lite and Tridonic drivers again. The AG-Lite drivers or Gen-Lite drivers are the waterproof ones, and the Tridonic drivers are the non-waterproof ones. We have got 12 volts, 24 volts, both in place. We can address that need as well. Again, the same tips which I was talking about. This simply shows how. Oh, oops, it's gone in this direction. This particular one, it is showing how parallel connections are done and how the outputs, multiple outputs of a transformer are clubbed to ease the circuit. Coming to RGB. Now RGB is catching up. We have got RGB modules from AG-Lite. Again, 12 volt modules, a 0.72 watt module. It is IP66 rated and quite versatile. Has a 175 degree beam angle, so the beam angle is also quite flat. Goes into quite a number of signs. This is from AG-Lite. Comes with a 5 years warranty. This is the controller which comes with this. This is again from Gen-Lite Ecolite. This is again what we can go with. This is our Lumire standard RGB strip, which is again a 12 volt strip. This is a non-waterproof one, so recommended more for internal use. This is again RGB module strip, and it can even go in letters if needed, if not in boxes. This is the controller which comes with it. Even a wireless option is also available. The remote option is also available with this particular controller. Just to show a rough diagram, the wiring diagram, which is often confusing for various people. This is a approximate, I've just shown it here. The transformer supplies the power to the 12 volt DC to at these 2 points, and the balance 4 points is RGB. This goes to the negative ones. RGB, these are the negative ones, and the positive one, single wire, goes to the positive one. So that's how we connect it. Similar depiction on RGBW. Some more basic terms which we can talk about is color temperatures, which I have not covered in the previous one. Now color temperatures, this is the basic spectrum of white light. When we start here, this is the warm white. Warm white, normally we talk about color temperatures, which is 2700 Kelvin, 3000 Kelvin. Then we move on, we come to neutral white category, which is starting from 4100, goes till 5000 Kelvin. We move to daylight, which is similar to the light outside, 5700 Kelvin. On signages, most recommended one is 6500 Kelvin, because 6500 Kelvin does not influence the color of the print or the vinyl or the fascia. It gives a uniform illumination, that's it. When it comes color temperatures higher than that, till around 7000 Kelvin, it's fine. 7500 Kelvin onwards, we enter the bluer genre of the spectrum. So we are going towards cool white. Now people, again, it's up to a person to decide, because the people have different preferences. 7500 onwards, we have got 9000, 10,000 Kelvin, in which the sign looks whiter. So that is what is a very common thing on most of the signs in Middle East. And also, if you see these pictures below, now depending on your output, depending on the design, the layer, the feature on the face of the sign, whatever you are putting there, depending on that, you can also choose the color of LEDs. So warmer colors enhance the warmer colors like red and orange more, while the cooler colors, the bluer, the 7500, the cool white enhances the blue and white more. IP ratings, we are always talking about IP ratings. IP ratings is nothing but ingress protection. What can enter the fixture or the module or the LED strip? The first digit, IP stands for ingress protection. First digit on the next two letters, the first digit is talking about solid objects. This particular part. Now, depending on what size of object, dia of object can enter that particular module, the highest as of now is dust protected, which is 5. Dust tight becomes 6. That's why when we talk about modules, we talk about IP65, IP68, means it is powder tight. No solid object can enter. This is the highest level. 6 is the highest level. When we talk about moisture, again, different categories. Protection against dripping water, maybe only quick immersion. So all those factors, spraying water, splashing water. So it goes on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is again the highest one, which is under continuous immersion also. The module or the fixture remains safe. The water or the moisture doesn't go inside. In places with high humidity, this feature is very important. It is always better to have a IP68 module so that your module is safe from the moisture as well. Thanks a ton. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, if you have any further query, any further suggestions needed from our end, please do give us a call. We are always available. You do have my mail ID. It is vishal@bluerhine.com. You have all our office numbers. Our sales consultants are always available. Do give us a call and we'll come back and definitely be of good use to you. Thank you.